Merci beaucoup. We're going to go to Mr. Weir. And Mr. Weir, by the way, I did check, and it was true that your question at our last meeting was the first CCF question at a committee meeting in 60 years of the Canadian Parliament. So it was quite historic. Mr. Weir?
Well, thank you for the opportunity once again, and thank you, Mr. Butts, for your articulate and informative testimony. To pick up on what you were just saying about deferred prosecution agreements, we heard last week from Ms. Wilson-Raybould that it was clear under the law that SNC-Lavalin was not eligible for a deferred prosecution agreement, and that therefore efforts to push that option were inappropriate. I think it's clear that you and many other people believed that SNC-Lavalin potentially was eligible for a deferred prosecution agreement. And I appreciate you're not a lawyer, I'm not either, but I'm wondering if you can shed any further light on the company's eligibility for that type of remedy.
I could not shed any light on that legal matter, Mr. Weir, I'm afraid.
Okay, it seems quite central to whatever misunderstanding or disagreement occurred.
Well, the centrality of it, though, with respect, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. The centrality of it is that the law is really unclear because it was brand new. And in this circumstance, my understanding, as I said in my opening statement, is that this is the first case in which the law could be applied. So I think talking about these things as if they are matters of settled law, again, with the proviso that I'm not a lawyer, is a bit of a mischaracterization of the state of the policy, which is really fresh and never been applied. And we thought the more thought and advice and process that could go into this, the more transparency we could bring into the decision-making process, the better off we were all going to be going forward. We were plowing a new field here, and wanted to make sure that all of the lessons were learned and all of the wisdom was gathered and all of the advice was given.
So thanks for all the light that you've shed on the cabinet shuffle in January. With the benefit of hindsight, do you think that it was a mistake to move Ms. Wilson-Raybould?
I don't like to do retrospective recharacterizations of events. I think that the government was put in a very difficult position, and I think in particular the Prime Minister was put in a very difficult decision. I think that there was no malice toward anybody, and there certainly wasn't personal malice toward anybody. The Prime Minister made I think, a well-informed decision about the cabinet shuffle, and had everybody on the team done what the Prime Minister asked of them, then I think we would not be having this conversation today.
Thank you very much.